We sailed in bold with mics in hand to holy fools upon the strand. A rabbi wise, a friar stout, both prone to sing, both prone to shout. What the Frock is going on here? We may not know, but still we cheer. Raise your voice, your glass, your brow, because the Frock is happening now.
First of all, we must internalize the flagellation of matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate the crux of my veterinary infection. Now, if I may retain my liquids here for one month, I'd like to continue the redundance of my quote-unquote intestinal tract. You see, because to preclude on the issue of world domination would I certify excuses which now perpetrates the Jericho's activation.
Good morning, America. How are you? I'm Rabbi Dave, and we have reached that most holy of days. A day of confusion, a day of rejoicing, a day of I can't make up my damn mind. It's the Superb Owl, and it's the Winter Olympics, and it's T20 cricket, and I do not have a picture-in-picture television.
I am Friar Rod, and I am just now getting my computer windows up and running so that I can watch all of these things at the same time.
It's the only way to do it, isn't it?
It is.
It's by computer. Or, here's the other thing. I guess I could get another TV in here and hook up a second Amazon Fire Stick and do it that way. But, on the other hand, it is 8:30 in the morning Pacific Standard Time.
Indeed.
The game, the Superb Owl, does not start until, 3:30 our time?
Yeah, I think so.
7.5 hours from now or 7 hours from now. And I, having no real interest in the two teams involved, don't really care about 7 hours of pregame for that show. So that one was easy to throw out. That was gone. Then there's the Olympics. Now, thanks to Rod's influence, I have Peacock. Mm-hmm. And for those of you that are watching the Olympics on NBC going, oh, that's so exciting, you understand that that was also 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
It is not being broadcast live. And I already have an issue with that because I watched the opening ceremonies live. And then I, for shits and grins, watched it on NBC later that night. And the NBC coverage later that night was pathetic compared to the live version. It was as if it had been cut down for people with ADHD and cell phones in their hands.
Is that the Netflix effect where they have to repeat the plot?
Apparently. They cut out massive portions of it. And I mean good portions. I've never been to Italy. Italy's one of those places I want to go. And I sent Rod and Bill a text the other day when I was watching the downhill skiing practice. Like, damn, I want to go there. Have you seen the venues for this? It's incredible. They're up in the Dolomites, which for those of you who may not know, the Dolomites are mountains near the Alps. They're not technically the Alps, but they're part of that mountain chain in northern Italy. And they are famous for one particular thing. You have any idea what that one particular thing is?
No.
They are quiet. There are caves in the Dolomites that are some of the most quiet places on Earth. They use them for scientific experiments and that kind of stuff. It's fascinating stuff. I mean, it really is. But they are incredibly beautiful. And the skiing venue is near there. And they're flying down this. I'm looking at this going, oh, this is incredible watching all this stuff. So I'm watching that. I did watch, as I said, the opening ceremonies because I like Italy. Mm-hmm. I love, it's strange to people when I tell them this, but I have a very eclectic view of music. There is very little music that I do not like. Very little.
Okay.
I would say in forms of style and genre, the only things I absolutely don't like are hardcore gangster rap, acid rock. Don't care for the hard rock metal. I just don't get it. I number one, I can't understand it. Number two, I don't get the point. You're mad. Okay, great. Fine. And the other thing I do not like, and I've said this on many occasions, I do not like traditional, twangy country music. I like modern country. I do not like the old, I'm sorry, some of you are going to throw things at me right now. I don't care for Hank Williams Jr. I just don't. I can take Buck Owens for 15 minutes, but that's about my limit.
There's a barber in Oakdale that they play that twangy country music. I mean, they've been around forever.
Right.
They cut my hair back when I was in junior high, and they're still around.
My dad loved it, especially when it got into the gospel element of it. My dad loved it. So when it comes to Italian music, of course, you have great Italian composers. You have Italian opera. You have modern Italian. Prisancola, we talked about 2 years ago, we talked about that song. And so this opening ceremony was all about Italian culture and Italian music and Italian history, and it was fantastic. It really was. I mean, I'm not one of these people that watches Olympic opening ceremonies normally, but this one, as they go, was pretty good. A hell of a lot better than the Super Bowl halftime show the Super Bowl halftime show is going to be. Okay, so
with that drowned rabbit, what is it? What is he?
But Bugs Bunny. Now, if it was Bugs Bunny, I would watch it. But
the rabbit of Kair Benog.
Yes, that guy. He's got teeth. So it was beautiful, and Mariah Carey was in this show. Of course, she makes the American version, singing Volare in Italian. And look, I get all the Mariah Carey jokes, and I get the Mariah Carey issues and Christmas and all that, but she did a hell of a job. It was beautiful.
There was some crap given to her, though, because they said she was lip-syncing.
I'm sure she was.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she was lip-syncing to her own recording, much a la Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl in 1991, whenever it was. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. The performance was fantastic. And then, before they do the marching in of the athletes, you did not see this on NBC's coverage that evening. They had one of the most famous Italian singers sing the Italian national anthem, which in Italian is, again, it's beautiful, it's motivating, and then you start reading the lyrics and you're like, wait, what? It's all about how they're slaves to Rome and uprisings. It's interesting, to put it that way. But she did a fantastic job. Then they raised the Italian flag, and then the parade of the athletes. If you watch the NBC version, the only thing you got was Mariah Carey and the marching in of the athletes, which you didn't even get all of that, which while it was going on live, of course, I'm texting Rod and Bill with my just incredulous understanding of things. Benin. Raise show of hand, how many of you know where the nation of Benin is?
No clue.
Anybody? Bueller? It's in Central Africa. Kind of between
I would have guessed Africa.
Niger and Mali.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Winter Olympic team.
Okay.
So does Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, a desert country, if there ever was one, has a Winter Olympic team. Now it has one guy, and he's a skier, who, by the way, was born to Saudi parents in San Diego and went to college at the University of Utah. So,
okay, which explains the skiing.
Yes, it does. It also led to a long discussion about the fact that Saudi Arabia is building a mountain in Saudi Arabia. How they're doing this, I have no idea. But they are building a mountain. I guess when you got enough money, you can, do what you want. And they are going to become, quote, a force in winter sports.
Okay. There's a movie in this somewhere.
I'm sure there is. Some executive somewhere is going, hey, this is what we got to do. And we had Cool Runnings. What would you call this? I have no idea. Speaking of cool runnings.
Night sweats. I don't know.
Night sweats. Speaking of cool runnings, what I did not have on my Olympic opening ceremony card, bingo card, was Snoop Dogg, whom I love. I like Snoop Dogg. I always have. It ain't nothing but a G thing. But him and Dr. Dre croon down gin and juice. I love that stuff. Anyway, he's become America's favorite Olympic correspondent. You know this, right?
Yeah, because it's his character, man.
It is so good. But I did not have on my bingo card him interviewing the Jamaican bobsled team.
Oh, that must have been hilarious.
It was a riot. I mean, it really was. It was just a total riot. So if you're watching the NBC coverage...
Were they passing around joints and stuff?
They were not, but they were certainly hinting that had happened. Or was about to happen, or whatever. All I'm saying is if you're watching the live stuff on NBC, you are not getting... You're just not getting the gist of the whole thing.
Yeah, Peacock's worth it.
Peacock is worth it, even if you're just going to have it for a month to watch the Olympics. It is fantastic. Watching the luge. Now, the luge is not something that I don't watch the luge and go, yeah, I could do that. No, I don't do that. But it is fun to watch.
Well, if you had tripped at the very top of the thing and started sliding down, you would do that. But that's about.
Have you seen the video of the guy doing that, screaming all the way down? It's not an Olympic guy. It's just some guy trips at the top and starts sliding down the thing. He's screaming the whole. Anyway, that track is like a mile long.
Uh-huh.
And here's the amazing thing, because we live in the 21st century now. So there's this chute where the guy comes down. They go off. But if you're watching it, they give you the shot from the bottom, and you see the guy coming down the chute. But there's another chute to the side, right, that kind of angles into it and joins in.
Yeah.
And as the guy comes down the chute, heading right towards the camera, coming down the other chute is a drone, which follows him down the track. And it is so cool to watch. I'm not sure which is cooler, watching the drone fly behind the guy or watching the shot from the drone. I don't know which is cooler. Can you imagine what it takes to fly a drone like that?
There are, and I followed a few online. They used to be drone racing league people, and then they got into film recording of drones. And so Nurk is one that I can think of as his name, and he's a professional camera operator now, because it's first person. You've got the goggles on, and you're actually seeing that, and you can fly the thing.
It's amazing. It's just fantastic to watch. And yeah, I'm aware of the American athletes who are being asshats, but frankly, I'm not watching them. So, because, look, I love winter sports. I don't care about big air snowboarding. That, to me, is not an Olympic sport, but apparently it is. What are Olympic sports? Hockey. The women's hockey bracket is bizarre. Have you seen how this is working?
No, I haven't seen how the bracket works at all.
10 teams, 2 brackets, 5 teams each. Bracket A consists of all the teams that are good. Good enough to possibly compete for a bronze medal, because everybody pretty much concedes that the United States and Canada are going to take the silver and gold. But the other 3 are good enough to compete for the bronze medal. Group B is all the teams that suck but put a team in the Olympics anyway, and are regularly getting beat 15-0 by the Americans and the Canadians and whatnot. And the way this is going to work is, because they need 8 teams for the medal round, all 5 teams in bracket A automatically have already made the medal round. So why are we even playing a round robin?
Seriously, just let the second bracket play and figure out who's going to be.
The top 2 teams out of the second bracket get to go to the medal round as the number 7 and 8 seeds for the medal round. Some of the women's hockey has been really good. The Czechoslovakia-Sweden game, Czechia versus Sweden game the other day was really good. Did you know that they changed their name?
I did not.
Yeah, it's Czechia now. It's not the Czech Republic anymore. You have to say Czechia, which is funny because even the announcers are having a hard time doing that. but that was a really good game. I guess Canada and Finland got into a fight, women's hockey. It's been pretty good.
Okay.
But, of course, my favorite Winter Olympic sport.
Dun, dun, dun.
From the time when I was a small child, and my Saturdays would consist of turning on the TV around noon, as I recall, Mountain Standard Time, to Jim McKay's voice about the agony of defeat as that guy came down the ski jump ramp and missed at the end and went. I have loved ski jumping. I loved ski jumping back when Matty Nieneman, the Flying Finn, was the greatest in the world. And Eddie the Eagle, the British guy, came along and was so terrible, but he made the sport so popular because he was so bad at it. They made a movie about him, believe it or not. I have loved this sport. If there was a sport that I know for a fact I would die doing, but I would do it anyway, it's ski jumping.
Okay.
I would strap those skis on my thing, and I would die a happy man.
What they need to do a mashup, though. They need to do the ski jumping, and you jump off, and when you land at the top of the luge thing, and now you have to finish the luge.
That would be fun. Be dangerous.
Rad.
I have loved this sport. I don't know why I love it. I just do. There's just something about that flying. Whoosh. And I'm old enough to remember when they didn't do the V. I remember when the V became a thing.
Yeah. To
get more distance and stuff like that.
It's because, Dave, you don't need enhancement. You're in no need of enhancement.
There is that. The scandal which is rocking the 2026 Cortina Milan Games, appropriately named Penisgate, is rocking ski jumping. Because ski jumpers are injecting hyaluronic acid into their penises to get more lift. There's a joke in there somewhere. I'm not sure where it is.
Well, and they're not sure if that's considered doping or not because that's an actual natural substance that's found in the body.
Right. So when I first see this story, I am confused as hell. I really am, because I'm trying to figure out, and that's literally the first question I asked, is wouldn't that actually create more drag?
I think it's the change of the shape, yeah.
I mean, to me, it was... So I dove into this far deeper than I should have so that no one else has to.
Okay.
They are, in fact, doing this, and they have been doing this for quite a while. In fact, the Norwegians, who you don't think of as a people as being evil cheaters, you think of the Norwegians as just being lutefisk-eating fisher people, right? I mean, that's who they are. They're nice, they're friendly, they have pretty dances, and they sing songs, and they celebrate Viking culture, right?
Sure.
No. These people were so intent on winning medals and world championships in ski jumping that they invented this process of injecting hyaluronic acid into one's penis to get more distance. Now, here's the dumb thing about all this, and you need to keep this in mind as we go along here. When we say they're getting more distance,
it's not much.
We're talking about centimeters. We're talking about the difference between 109 meters and 109.1 meter. Okay? That's what we're talking about here. We're also, I'm still stuck on this thing about drag. I'm still talking about this, well, if my penis is...
Can you imagine the tryouts for the Swedish or Norwegian ski jump team? Okay, yeah, you're good. Drop your trousers. I want to see it.
Oh, you don't even know the half of it yet, do you? Do you know that they do a laser scan of the genital area? They actually do it of the whole body, but specifically the genital areas of all the ski jumpers?
I did not know that.
They do that because they have to build the suits for them. And the suits have to be form-fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I was stuck up on this, if my penis is dangling out, doesn't that create more drag? It turns out that what it actually does is gives you more fabric in the crotch area. And it's the fabric that, like a sail, creates the lift. Again, we're talking about a centimeter here. We're not talking about, some guy flying 200 meters or something. We're just talking about millimeters here. Okay? And so where they're injecting themselves with the hyaluronic acid to make their genitals larger is during that scan, is before that scan is done. They're not actually doing it on the hill, which is disappointing in ways that, I mean, this would have been so much better if they had been doing that, but no, that's not what they're doing. They do it as part of the suit manufacturing, and they've been doing it. There's a Norwegian coach from back in the mid-2000s who's come out and said, yeah, we've been doing this forever. And we did it because we wanted to win. And when we did. And so when they say, but isn't it cheating? He said, well, we won. So, no, it's not cheating.
Oh, gee.
And you just don't think of the Norwegians that way, do you?
No.
I never have before today. But now the Norwegians, Matty Needleman and all the Flying Finn, well, they were Finnish, but, have
Well, they probably did it too.
They probably did.
If it was well known.
Rocked my sport and created Penisgate and now you're sitting here watching these guys jump.
And that's all you think about.
Is that penis really that big? And for the first time in my life, as I'm watching these people soar through the air, where is my attention being drawn?
To their crotch.
This is what the Olympics have become for me.
It's one hell of a sport you love there, Dave.
It really is. It's. I don't even. I'm just like.
You need to combine the commentators from cricket into the ski jumpers.
Yes. Nice parabola. Oh, his penis looks a little big.
Well, that was a movie if I ever saw one.
Then I started thinking, well, what do they do for the women?
Yeah.
Which is not a conversation you should have with yourself in your head. That's not a direction you really want to go. But I did, because I was watching this going, holy crap.
It's so that you don't have to.
Yes. Now I don't know what to think anymore. It's weird, but it's not the superb owl, I'll tell you that. Where Roger Goodell came out and told us that, no, everything's great with the halftime show. And
he probably doesn't even know who Bad Bunny is.
Well, I'm sure he does now.
That wascally wabbit.
I'm going to a superb owl party, so it's not like I can turn the channel during the thing, because the person who's hosting the party is leftist, liberal. And so that person, I'm sure, will want to watch the Bad Bunny presentation. I personally will go find the dip at that point and refresh my drink and perhaps make a trip to the little boys' room, or if I was a Norwegian ski jumper, the big boys' room, and go from there. I don't know. I figured out what's happened to the Super Bowl, though. Sorry, the Super Bowl.
What's happened?
It has fallen victim to the same Netflix problem that they have, which is the attention span.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we used to watch the Superb Owl for the commercials?
Yep.
We don't do that now, because all the commercials have already been released. You've already seen the Budweiser ad. You've already seen the Doritos ad. You've already seen all these ads. You've already seen all these ads that are going to be released for the Superb Owl. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you're not going to pay any attention to them unless they're on social media. So why bother, would be my question. Why pay millions of dollars for a 30-second ad on the Superb Owl if you're going to release it a week before the Superb Owl on social media?
That seems kind of ludicrous. You'd think they would just say, well, if we would have bought a Super Bowl ad, this is what it is.
This is what it would be.
Yeah.
Just like us. If we were going to buy a Superb Owl ad, this is what we would have done. We would have run an ad for Prem Jodish and that sort of
or
thing.
Tolos.
Or Tolos or whatever.
Those mints that we had, was it last week?
Gravity mints.
Gravity mints.
But no, because our attention span is so short, we don't do that anymore, and it's weird. So anyway, it's a busy day because we've got the Olympics going on, we've got the Super Bowl, and of course
we didn't even talk about the English Premier League, Dave. That's still on too.
Is it?
You're not watching it.
I'm not watching that. No, if I watch that at all, I watch the Championship League, where Norwich is finally out of the basement. They finally decided to start playing with 10 games left. They've decided, well, maybe we should get serious about this.
Yeah.
Yawn. So this time a week ago, I was sitting here talking with Rod, and after I got everything done with this, here's my process. And it doesn't always work this way. Last week was one of those rare examples when it actually did. This is the way it's supposed to work. Get done doing this, I do all the editing, I do the uploading, I go to the gym where I walk. Now, normally on a given day, I'll walk for an hour, which this show is roughly an hour. Sometimes more, sometimes less. So I air check the show while I'm walking. And then if there's anything I got to fix, then I come back and fix it, which I should probably do before I upload it, but there's some reasons why I upload it first and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Last week I did this, and I went to the gym and I started walking, and I was 42 minutes into my walk when suddenly I had what felt like a sharp cramp in the back of my right ankle. And so I slowed down a little bit, and I frowned because that's what you do when you don't feel good, and kind of started limping a little bit. And then about 10 steps later, there was a distinct, absolute snap in my ankle with a sharp stabbing pain, which almost dropped me, but I managed to grab onto a rail and hang on to my thing, and I could not walk. It took the better part of 20 minutes for me to get to my car, which was less than 100 yards away. And I came home in great pain. My wife, who is a medical professional, said, well, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know. I've never snapped an Achilles before. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. When Micah Parsons did it on the National Football League game against the Broncos, they wheeled him off in an ambulance and took him away. I'm not him. What do you want me to do? So we did, because we live in the 21st century, we did what everybody does. We went to the interwebs. Yeah. Where it said, oh my God, this is critical. Because the longer you wait, the more potential damage you can do. Indicating that if surgery is thus required, it will be more complicated and recovery will take longer and blah, blah, blah. And then I noted that my leg, my foot, my lower leg, was really cold. I mean, freezing cold. I thought, is this in my head? And I had my wife put her hands on it, and she said, no, that's really cold. And that was the clincher. Because
blood flow?
Apparently. And that's the clincher where we said, okay, we have to go to the ER.
Yeah. You don't want to have your leg amputated because you chose not to go.
Right. Which we did. We went to the emergency room on a Sunday afternoon. Got there at 3:23 p.m. Less than an hour.
How long was it that you were there before they turned you into a Jedi Knight?
So we get checked in. We're sitting there, and At first, things go really fast. Oh, they come over to get your insurance information, which of course they already have because this is literally the same hospital where I've had, knee replacements, kidney stones removed, shoulder surgeries, bone marrow scans. I mean, this is like my second home, right? I mean, they know.
Mm-hmm.
And they get all that information, and then they come and get my blood pressure and everything else, which amazingly is high. Oh, your blood pressure's a little high. No shit.
You're a little stressed.
I'm a little stressed. I'm in a little bit of pain here. You just made me walk across the room to get to this. So forth and so on. And then we sit down. And this is the same hospital, by the way, where my wife is employed.
Okay.
So we're sitting there in the chairs, and all of a sudden there's an announcement. Please shelter in place. Move away from all windows and entrances. Crap. What's going on? Well, of course, they're not going to tell us anything. No. All I know is that the rent-a-cops, the security people, are moving everybody away from the windows and into the interior of things, where now we are all gathered. And for whatever reason, apparently this means that everything has to stop. So all the processes just completely stop.
Mm-hmm.
And we just sit there for like an hour and a half while we discuss what's going on. Well, because my wife is an employee of the hospital, she's getting text alerts. Nobody else is.
Sure, it's the alert media type of thing that you get because you're an employee there.
Right, so she's getting the text alerts. It turns out that this is a bomb threat. Actually, it's not really a bomb threat. In fact, it says in the text, we do not consider this to be legitimate. We don't consider this to be real, but we have to follow the protocols.
Mm-hmm.
It's a suspicious package that someone left somewhere. And so we have to go through all of this nonsense for that. Instead of finding the person whose name is on the bag going, hey, you left your backpack over here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. In the meantime, the security people are standing by the door. And as people are coming in, they're asking them the question. Are you visiting or are you here for treatment? And depending on how you answer that question, decides whether or not you get to come in.
So everyone's going to say treatment.
No, everybody's saying, I'm here to visit my wife, or I'm here. My wife was just admitted to the cardiac ward. I need to get her. I have my brother's keys. Nope, sorry, no visitors. And I'm thinking to myself, and in fact, I believe I texted you guys, so if I'm the bomber, don't I just say I'm here for treatment?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so this goes on for an hour and a half, as I said. And I finally get taken back to a chair, not a room. It's a chair with a sign next to it that says, this is spot blah, blah, blah.
Oh, is that where they knighted you?
Yes, it is. Because it was freezing cold and my wife wrapped me in a bunch of blankets. And
he sent this picture and it's a full-on Jedi garb wrap around him.
So 20 minutes later, the doc comes by, because we're in a hallway. Says, hi, I'm Doc so-and-so. I'm here to look at your leg. And spends a grand total of about 45 seconds touching my leg. Oh, that hurts. Well, that doesn't hurt. He touches the other leg. No, why are you... The leg doesn't hurt. What?
Yeah.
And stands up and pronounces, hey, you might have a torn calf muscle, but you're fine. We'll get you some crutches.
What does that explain why it's cold?
Yes, exactly. And then he says, I've got a trauma case back here. I'll be back as quick as I can. And leaves. And we sit. 45 minutes later, another doctor comes up and insists upon shaking my hand, my right arm.
Okay.
Which is still recovering from shoulder surgery. I'm in a chair. He's above me. And
yeah, so you're having to reach up.
And then he starts asking me a bunch of questions. Well, when did this start? So I told him, started at 3:20 or 2:20 p.m. And he looked at me, and he looked at his little device thing, and he went, wait, are you not experiencing chest pains? No. You're not sweating or anything? No, I hurt my leg. And he looks at his thing and goes, oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Turns around and leaves. Fuck. A few minutes later, what appears to be a nurse comes back and says, hey, Doc so-and-so is still in trauma. He hasn't forgotten about you. He'll get back to you as quick as he can. And an hour after that, another nurse comes up and says, oh, here's your discharge papers. Do you want some crutches? To which I replied, no, I have more crutches and walkers and stuff than I can. Yeah. Tuesday, I have an appointment already scheduled with my podiatrist, who happens to be a very accomplished, brilliant Achilles surgeon. In fact, her words to me were, I love doing Achilles surgeries.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, can't wait to see her.
Someone's got to do that, I guess.
She's great. She and her husband.
Proctology, I guess.
Yeah, she and her husband are like granola people. She's the one that talked me into the cannabis salve. Okay. They're very
holistic.
Yes, but they're fun, so I enjoy being around them. I'm okay with it because even though this isn't my traditional way of looking at things, they're fun. Anyway, so she is just absolutely appalled as I'm telling her all this. She keeps going, so they didn't do any imagery at all. None. Not a sonogram, not an MRI, nothing. So, no, they didn't even refer me. They referred me for PT. That's it. That's all they did. And offered me crutches. And she's just shaking her head, and she's making notes. She got the stuff from, she's writing down the name of the doctor and everything else. She's like, oh, I wouldn't want to be on that end of that, because that conversation's not going to be good.
No. So
I have an appointment on Thursday. She looked at it, and she thinks that it's the calf, not the Achilles. She's certain that it's the calf, not the Achilles. And because of that...
That you tore something?
Yes. She's convinced that I tore the calf. The degree to the tear is unknown. I can walk now. It's very stiff and very sore, but I can do it. But she had me make an appointment with an orthopedic because they handle that kind of stuff. So she does not think surgery will be necessary, which would be nice because, as you know, I have been pronouncing 2026 as the year of no surgeries. This year there will be no surgeries. None. Refuse to have it. So, of course...
That's your first mistake right there.
That was my first error in this whole thing. And anyway, that was my Sunday a week ago. Now, I'm hoping that today, when I sit down to edit this and upload, I'm hoping that today, because I have the Superb Owl Party, I'm not going walking today. So I'm hoping that things will not be as weird, but we'll see how it goes. Welcome back. I'm Dave.
I'm Rod.
So, have you seen our favorite socialist in Congress this week?
Yes, multiple times.
Bless America.
My X feed is like, oof, okay.
How in the world can someone that flat out hot be that freaking stupid? I mean, I guess it's the hot, crazy scale again. I don't know. We're talking about AOC and her big old socialist titties.
Yeah.
So here's the question. She does a floor speech. Now, for those of you not familiar with these House speeches, these floor speeches, these are pro forma. There's literally no one there when they're doing these. They're just camera time. And she gave a speech this week wearing a white, How would you describe that? Cotton dress? Top?
Yeah, it was sort of like that. Was it a sweater? Was it like a sweater?
It couldn't have been a sweater because, I mean, if it was a sweater, then holy but I don't think it was a sweater. It had kind of that fuzzy look to it, but anyway, she gave a speech which is making the rounds, and nobody's actually listening to anything she's saying. It had something to do with a church and an anniversary of a church, but nobody's paying any attention to that because it was apparently, well, either hyaluronic acid or it was very cold in there. One of the two.
I don't know. I saw some posts of other women saying that, you know, she could really invest in, with all the money that she makes, she could invest in better bras.
Do you think she's not doing that on purpose?
Oh, she probably is.
I'm not objecting by any stretch of the imagination, but but then she made the mistake of going on was it Don Lemon's show?
I didn't see that.
And she said that the Trump administration was trying to qualm him.
Okay. Is that the word of the day?
No,
on the calendar?
That's become the headlines. Qualm your tits, babe. Because it's like in Living Color, they used to do this skit with the guy that was in prison, and he would use words that he had no clue what they meant.
Yeah.
This is the same thing because she meant quell, but she said qualm. And they're two different words that have two different meanings, and I'm not even going to take the time to explain it to you because, you know, look, it's the 21st century. You can ask ChatGPT if you need to, or even Amazon. But the bottom line is, these videos are getting a lot of plays. They're getting a lot of watches, but I'm not sure how many people are actually listening to anything she's saying. I know I'm not, but I don't mind watching.
Well, and it's funny because some people are reacting to that. Some of the left they're shocked. They're like, "Well, I didn't realize that conservative men really think AOC's hot, but can't stand her politics. I don't understand it."
Yeah, we do. I'll give credit where credit's due. She might be the hottest politician in America. Might be. I mean, there's some competition, but she's up. She's in the top 5. And I don't mind saying that. There was a time, speaking of music, where I didn't particularly care for Britney Spears' music. Mm-hmm. To me, it's just too much bubblegum pop, which I can take in small doses. The thing I didn't like about Britney back in the day was there was nothing original to it. It was it was formulaic. It was no different than what any of the other blonde bimbos were doing. But her dance moves were better than everybody else's. Mm-hmm. So I actually would put on I had a DVD of her music videos that I would put on, turn the sound off, and put on some Pink Floyd or something. And I'm the same way with AOC. I don't listen to anything she says, but man, can qualm those tits, baby. Friends, a quick word from the boundary rope. If you've ever watched cricket and wondered how the batter knows where to swing, well, then you already understand astrology.
That's where Prem Jyotish comes in. You see his name everywhere in cricket, quietly sitting there, like a patient spin bowler waiting for fate to do the rest.
Prem Jyotish does Vedic astrology. Charts, timing, patterns, none of that fortune cookie nonsense.
He will help you read the pitch before you play the shot. Career, relationships, big decisions, even why everything went sideways last over.
Prem Jyotish. Because life, like cricket, is all about knowing when you are on strike.
And trusting the stars to keep the bails on.
Welcome back. I'm Rabbi Dave.
I am Friar Rod.
And as we discussed at length last week, the T20 World Cup is underway.
It is.
Did not get off to a good start for us.
No.
By us, I mean the United States. It got off to a great start if you're Sri Lanka or Pakistan or
India.
Yeah. Did it? I'm not even sure India got off to a great start, though, because...
No. 164 doesn't seem... I mean, it
not only was it a 164, but it was 140 in the 18th over, meaning there's 12 pitches left. That's it, 12 bowls left. Mm-hmm. And we had them at 140, which is the average is around 170, somewhere in there. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to beat India in the first round. And then suddenly in the last 2 overs, the guy just went bananas. So they end up at 160. 160 for 7, I think, was the whole thing. So 7 wickets. We took 7 wickets from them. You got to take 10 to get them out. But at any rate, so everybody's kind of, you can just sense in the whole broadcast, in the whole stadium, everybody's like, oh, no, this is a disaster. And then we come to bat in the first 2 overs and get 2.
That was horrible.
2. I could have done that. Jeez. It was like, it's a lot of text. Are these guys drunk? I mean, the running was just sloppy. I mean, just terrible. And yeah, later on we started to pull up a little bit, but it was never in doubt after that, I don't think, was it?
No, and they were running so slow. It's like, come on, put some pressure on the India to actually make the play.
Yeah. It's like baseball, you know, you're lollygagging around the bases. These guys were lollygagging between the wickets, and I'm just like, holy crap. This is our World Cup team? I mean, you could have put me and Rod out there, and we'd have done it better as a partnership.
Seriously.
Because these guys were just not, I mean, I don't know. It was disappointing. It really was. And so we are not off to a good start in the T20. I had hoped to come on this morning. When it was at 140 after 18 yesterday, I'm like, oh, man, tomorrow's going to be great. We're going to be celebrating everything American cricket. We're going to be, we beat India. And then they go out and lay that turd. And what are we left to talk about?
Yeah.
People injecting hyaluronic acid in their penises. Because our cricket team just...
Superb owls that we're not going to really want to watch.
Right. I don't know where you go from there. I was disappointed. But it is underway, and it is... I'll tell you what, the Pakistan-Netherlands game was really good. And everybody hates the Pakistanis because they cheat. And as it turns out, there are websites X accounts dedicated to the Pakistani cheating in T20 cricket, and it's pretty entertaining. But the Netherlands, the Nederlanders, the Dutch came pretty close, and it was a good game. So there is that. We just watched, even as we were recording this, we watched Sri Lanka beat Ireland. Ireland, I don't know. I changed channels, so
they're still it's at 19.3 overs, and they need a ton. So
I thought it was
going to do it.
Yeah, I thought it was over. I mean,
effectively, it's over. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There are no 20-run, pitches, so it's not gonna. Anyway, we enjoy cricket here. If you don't like cricket, well, you probably don't like AOC's tits either. And on that note, I'm Rabbi Dave.
I am Friar Rod.
And this has been a very sports-oriented episode of
What the Frock?
So grab your frock and come aboard. This nonsense can't be ignored. We joke, we write, we spin, we sing, while road burns on, we do our thing. The frock is going on here. We may not know, but still we cheer. Raise your